everyone, in this video we're looking at transformations and specifically rotations. So again, we're trying to describe movements of shapes on the Cartesian plane using these transformations, and a rotation is what it sounds like, a turn. So that is what we're looking at today. You either move the shape around a point of center of rotation. So it's either going to be like within the shape, or it'll be assigned. It'll say like which point are we rotating around, or at point P it rotates. Now to give you an angle, so our key angles, so there's some important ones that you might want to remember, which are like your basic ones. So remember that these are 90 degrees. So if you're starting at 0, 90, 180, oh sorry, generally we go the other way. We go 90, 180, 270, and in between all of those values. But in this case here, you're also going to say which way, if it's clockwise or anti-clockwise. So for the first one here that we've got, we're going to describe the transformation that has occurred. So what we're looking for, it's got an arrow here that indicates that there's been a turn, like a rotation. However, that might not necessarily always be there. At first glance, you might be like, wait, there, it looks like a reflection. But if you have a look at the corresponding like points that were assigned A, B, C to P2, if this was flipped, this would be A and this would be B. So that's how we know that it has been rotated, because the position of our like corners has changed. So if this might be a little bit tricky to start off with in your head, but what you can see is that D and E have gone from upright to this angle here. So that's 90 degrees because they've just done like a quarter turn. So we know that it's going to be 90 degrees. And the arrow kind of helps us out here, and it's in an anti-clockwise direction because it's going against the clock direction. So clockwise would be like if you're going 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, and anti-clockwise is if you're going like 9, 10, 11. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 o'clock. So 90 degrees anti-clockwise is your description for this transformation. Now these are the ones that get really tricky. When we do these in class, we'll actually cut out like pieces of paper and plonk them and then plot them on our graph. Cartesian paper. It makes it a little bit easier while you're transitioning. I'll show something that will help out as well. You're going to move the object in the prescribed rotation. So it's going to be clockwise around P. I've drawn the shape. Remember though to use a ruler. When we say clockwise, we're going around point P. So this is your P point here, and clockwise is in this direction. So if I'm going to go 180, the first thing I'm going to do is like flip 90 degrees. So that means that at this point F would come down to here, and then the next time we're going to flip another 90 degrees, F is actually going to come to this point here. So this becomes your F dash. Then once we go with that, once we've established where F is, we can use that pathway to go and find E and beyond. So there's your E dash, dash, it's 1.5, so there's D dash, C the whole, C dash, and B is like 3, it's technically 4, but 1, 2, 3, 4, and then what is it, B dash, A dash, coming back to our, it'd be like a 0.5, and that gives us G dash, and that is your shape. So remember, think of it as like, you're going, the point stays, and that's like where you anchor it and then flip it around. So if we have a look at, say, this one, not that one, this one here, we've got this new square. I'm just going to put a new square and move it. I don't want to move it actually. I'm going to rotate it around 90 degrees around the point here. So the black point is -1 and -2, and we don't know what happened there. -1, -2, and we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. So we go rotate. You can see that it's moved just from there, it's come around, and those other points are rotating around it, and then it's come to here. So it started off upright and now it's this way. So that is a tool you can use. That's what it's called, Shodo, to help you with your transformations. Alright. And so you have then that. B, determine which point the rectangle has turned 90 degrees anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise being this direction, and we've gone only, so if we started here, we're going to end up like, right there. So if I've ended up, oh, sorry, let's try it this way. If my shape is looking like tall this, I've tipped it over and it's become 90 degrees. So we're trying to find out at what point did it go to this point here. So it's about like visualizing it in your head. It's going to, like, if you took this and flipped it 90 degrees from this point, it would then go this way. And it'll be up here. E, different. F as well. It's going to be your A, because it hasn't given you any other image things, but it's going to be A, because if you anchored it here and then pushed it over on this side, it would all come around and B would come to this point here. That would be A, B, C, D, and this would be E here. So that is how you determine by which point it has gone around. What I would like you to do, there's quite a lot here. I'm just going to try and move me out of the way. So pause, otherwise have a look at the page numbers for your exercises, and you can see here what type of rotation. So show the image rotated based on the instructions, and then state what point these things have been rotated from the original image. Alright, stay awesome everyone. Bye.